requires approval from Minister of Justice.
We're rolling. Put your fucking finish, and then we'll start. Well, we're already starting. So he's back.
The camera is.
No, you're rolling.
Oh,
We're rolling.
oh, I thought okay, right, rightio. My name is Buzzer, political extraordinaire. I'm Indonesia's political extraordinaire.
Oh. Why did I have you come back on my show?
I'm not a political influencer, but I'm a political commentator.
You are a political influencer.
No.
We're commentating and influencing.
No, I mean I'm more of a political commentator than influencer, because the reason why people think I'm influencing is because some of my thoughts are agreeable, which, to be honest, I don't really believe in anything I say. It's just to win brownie points.
Yeah. Well, we're experiencing some technical difficulties, you guys. We're at a new location. We're at Cafe Buffo.
Yes.
Taddy, is it called Buffo? Buffo. Buffo.
Buffo.
Cafe Buffo.
Yeah, we are
It's
in
owned
Cafe
by an
Buffo.
Italian expat.
Buongiorno.
Every Monday they got homemade Italian pasta. So y'all want to come over to Cafe Buffo? We're in Grand Wijaya Center. It's the Ruko in Jalan Wijaya.
We're in Cafe Buffo. Buongiorno.
Cafe Buffo. Buongiorno.
Come stai?
Parpadelle. Buffo means lucu. Funny.
Funny
Is
cafe.
it funny or cute? Funny. Yeah. Because in Indonesian, lucu can either mean funny or cute. Yeah. Oh, it's Cafe Funny.
I love Italian operas.
Oh my God, I really want to have a cafe one day. I call it G Cafe.
You call the cafe G-Spot?
No, G Spot would be my IP for like sex education. Like I got a thing going with the G, you know? So it's like G Lounge is the Discord server. And then there's G Space, which is my digital and social media literacy initiative. And then what if we have a G Cafe? What if my office tower one day is called G Tower? What if we have a G Park? Even though I think that support public parks. The government should be investing money towards public parks. Y'all saw my video, the one that went viral of me in Perth going like, look at this public park. Public park! So nice. We should have that.
I wonder what Google would think about you naming everything starting with a G.
G Spot would be my sex ed initiative.
Why not a cafe? I want to bring you to my G Spot.
Come on.
Where can I find a G Spot? You say that out loud, right?
You want to come explore my G Spot?
Yeah, sure. Why not? One of these days.
Why am I here right now?
We gotta. Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Didn't you just start rolling?
Already rolling.
Oh, it's already rolling. Okay, yeah, we caught all that, right? Because that shit's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
G Park. G Dragon. No, I'm just kidding. That's already. That's an artist.
That is a Korean guy.
That's a Korean man
Yeah.
with allegedly a very small penis.
Are you sure about that?
That's why I said allegedly. It's alleged.
How do you know?
People talk.
You must know very famous people that have been with him.
Now, I don't know nobody famous from Korea, so let's just get one thing straight. I've never explored G Dragon penis, but like I hear shit from the grapevine that he allegedly has a very small penis.
I see.
But it's okay if you know what? Listen, if you got a small penis but you got a big personality, you make up for it.
What would G-Dragon think if he sees you say this?
G Dragon, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
He'd be like, come see my G-Dragon?
What?
You want to see the reason why my
Let
name
me-
is G-Dragon?
Let my G Dragon explore your G spot.
Wow.
Wow.
We see one of these days, once you open up the G-Spot Cafe, you're going to get G-Dragon coming into it, you
Bro, I
know?
wanna call my shit G Empire. Let's go.
So like
G
this
Empire.
is what I imagine. Like this is G Spot, and so the door is right here, and the G Spot is up top, and you're like, that's the G Spot right there.
My office is called my chamber is called the G Spot.
And you're gonna be like, you're gonna invite those social media influencers to like
You wanna come to my G Spot?
Maria to make yeah. You wanna come to my G Spot and make everybody come in my G Spot. And so you invite G Dragon, so it's G Dragon entering G Spot.
he enters my G spot.
The amount of innuendo in this is very concerning.
I know, it's so marketable, right?
I honestly think it's not family friendly.
Girl, have I ever been family friendly though? All these years you know me.
But you must. Indonesia's a family friendly country.
No, if anything, real talk, Indonesia needs to be more family oriented.
Family oriented.
Well, especially in terms of like government, like in terms of the support and the resources that are allocated by the government in order to actually support families flourishing. Things like fucking, hello, maternity leave. Hello, paternity leave. Like, what are you when I got kids? And then like, the first few months.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree that Indonesia is very family oriented. I mean,
no, we're family oriented by culture, but then there's no resource. There's no actual palpable government resource to actually substantiate calling us a pro-family government.
yes, we are.
Okay?
Itu Gibran jadi wakil presiden. Prabowo dulu bapaknya menteri. Prabowo's dad used to be minister. Luhut owns the Dewan Ekonomi Nasional, and his nephew is CIO. Right?
We're only family oriented when it's nepotism.
And then you have Zulhas, who's minister of this shit, and his daughter is inside the DPR RI.
Oh yeah, Zira.
I honestly think that Indonesia is very pro-family. You know, very pro-family.
We're only
right?
pro-family when it's passing on powerful positions to our offsprings and our family members, and all of that is just quid pro quo anyway. It's not even because I actually love you as my son. It's just because I gotta keep my family legacy going. Because here's the thing that I've mentioned this with Gilbas before. I don't actually mind nepotism. I really don't. I don't mind nepotism as long as you're competent. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no shit. Like, if your daddy has a family business and he wants to entrust the shit that he has built with his blood, sweat, and tears. Like, yeah, if my son's got it, like, I'll just give it to my son. Like, kenapa ribet gitu loh. As long as he's got what it takes, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Nepotism is like government? Fuck yeah. Once I become president, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna turn Indonesia into like a monarchy.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have my son. Oh, too close. Sorry about that.
Do not kiss my microphone, please.
That far away.
So, once I become president, I'm gonna make sure that all my sons receive good jobs. I'm gonna make sure all my friends' sons receive good jobs, and
Right.
if they can't find jobs, I'm gonna make sure that they become minister.
Yeah. I mean, you know, on the one hand, like, I kind of get the predicament. It's like, as a parent, you obviously, most parents, well, all good parents, because not all parents are good, but all good parents want what's best for their kids. And of course, if I, as a parent, I'm somebody, I got resources, I think it's just really hard to gauge, like, I want to give my kid enough in order for them to be able to, like, grow on their own. But it's that initial starting point of, like, that's constantly being debated of, like, oh, this is too much and too good of a starting point for your child, and that child only gets it because they're your child.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So, my dream one day is to become president and make sure Indonesia is family oriented, but for me, you know?
For you. Just for you.
That's what's your Indonesian dream?
When you become president, you appoint me as your vice.
Vice.
Yes. Can I be a vice president? Go away. Never had a female vice president that isn't related to. Who's she related to again? Suha Karno, the airport.
We'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see how you test into people in Jawa Tengah, in
Yeah, sure. Because the people
Papua,
of Jawa Tengah obviously they're gonna fucking love me.
And don't forget Aceh as well. Would they be okay with having a vice president?
Nah, listen. See, I'm gonna make the case that you need somebody like me to appeal to the upper middle class, the whitewashed, internationalized, rich Indonesians. You need me as your representative.
As vice? But like,
And there's Gibran.
yeah, but
Come on, if Gibran can do it, so can I.
but I'm also upper middle class as well.
Yeah, and I appeal to you. That's why you're here.
So both of us are upper middle class. So who exactly are we attracting if we run as president and
Well,
vice president?
Purbaya. Oh, okay, Purbaya is not even upper middle class. That man is the fucking elite, and he's president. I don't think it matters as long as you know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. So are you saying that I don't appeal to the upper middle class,
See, I
urban
feel like
whitewash?
if you were president, this whole episode is just us dreaming that he's president. If you're president,
I mean,
feel
you
like
could be president too. Who
I
knows?
could be president.
Yeah?
I could be president too. I just feel like you're more flexible than me, in terms of like you can roll with the upper middle class, you can roll with the middle class, you can roll with fucking jamet kayak si Kevin.
How would Kevin feel if he heard you say that to him?
Kevin, I'm just joking around. But no, I feel like knowing Kevin, like he'd be proud to call himself jamet, unless jamet is like a derogative.
Yeah.
Is it a derogative?
It's like the N word, right?
Wait, actually?
Well, not
Oh my
as
god, I
offensive.
just called Kevin the N-word?
It's not as offensive as the N word, but like N word, you use it if you're a white person, a majority, and you use it to a black person, it's
Yeah.
offensive. But if it's a black on
When
black,
it's within company, you can
it's
say it to
it's a
one
badge
another.
of pride,
So I can't call Kevin a jamet.
Well, you
'Cause I'm not
technically
Jamet.
can, but it's not racist,
It's not racist.
But coming from you, it's
It's
a bit
racist.
classist.
It is.
But it's
I
okay.
meant-
I
I
call
meant
him a
that-
jamet too,
I meant that in an endearing way, Kevin. Do not get offended. But
Yeah,
see,
don't
like
worry,
you can
man.
see, you can roll with upper middle class. You can roll with the middle class. You can roll with jamets.
Why don't you try and roll with the jamets too? Minum inti sari. And then, nongkrong di warkop sampai jam 11.
That's a reality TV
And then
show concept.
afterwards, you go, you stop going to Izzy, Izzy in Senopati. No, don't go there anymore. You go to Amora.
Shout out to Izzy, wonderful
Yeah.
place.
You go to Amora.
I've been to Amora. Shout out to Kelvin. Amora. I've been to Amora. Like when they first opened, when Kelvin opened his first joint, I think it was the one in, is it Depok?
Kemang.
Kemang. Yeah, Kemang.
Yeah.
And then there's one in Deplu. I don't even know what Deplu is, but like it's called Deplu.
Departemen Luar Negeri. Because a lot of diplomats apparently live there.
Okay. Well, I don't know. But I was there when Amora Kemang first opened, okay? So I've been to Amora.
Yeah.
I went down on the streets.
Yeah, but like, you haven't been there again when it's now the streets.
No, it was the streets back then.
Back
too.
then it was even the streets.
Oh my god, girl! And then there's Amora in Block M. Have you ever been to that one? I went to that one. Oh, that
Uh-huh.
one's ghetto as hell.
Okay. Well, you gotta.
You don't even want to go to those places because you're like, I am a man of refined taste.
Yes, and being a jamet is also a refined taste. It's part of culture,
It's culture, yeah.
Like singing Nupak King, teng 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 teng. It's culture. Yeah.
It's culture. It is culture.
It's culture. Like
Don't
you
debate
gotta
over whether or not it's
appreciate
called
it.
it's refined.
And
but
to
it's
become
culture.
a leader of this nation,
You need to sing that
you
song.
need to not only sing that song but live through it.
What's that song called again?
Nupak King.
What does that mean?
So you know King?
No.
It's a
Oh,
it's a
yang
noisy yang teng 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 teng. Yeah.
Oh,
See, Indah, I feel like Indonesia is a very huge place for you to explore.
oh, it is.
Yes, and it's such a beautiful place. You need to come down the streets and to those rat-infested warungs and the
Hang out in warkop.
sunmori with the
Ngopi
ereking.
sambil ngangkat kaki kayak gini, guys.
You dropped your chocolate.
My chocolate, thank you, my chocolate.
Yeah. So you need to experience that. And from the beauty of it, you would understand what Indonesia is actually all about.
Yeah.
And then from then on, you can extrapolate that and create your own Indonesian dream with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely. My weakest point is that I admit, because I obviously like social, economically up, so I do admit very out of touch with reality, and I don't go out a lot. So whereas you've actually like been places, so yeah.
Bruh.
If we were to both run for office, like you have that upper hand compared to me.
Bruh. Uptown girls, they need to go downtown.
Yes.
Uptown girls need to go downtown, man.
Imagine if somebody had the audacity to be like, well, why do I gotta come down? Like, why don't you work harder so you can come up with me? Imagine someone said that.
I mean,
I said imagine someone said that. I'm not saying that.
yeah, that would be a very good motivation. Yeah, why don't I come up?
The best motivation in life, you guys.
Yeah.
Rage. Lots of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just realized like we've been rambling this entire time. I haven't even explained to people like the concept of this new fucking segment and why you're here.
Yeah, like people would just ask like, who the fuck is this guy? Why did Indah invite
No,
this?
he's been here before, like 2
this
years
guy
ago.
right here.
Nah, 2
Like,
years ago you came on my show. We talked about Israel Palestine.
Yes,
Yes,
and that was the
and-
start.
And that
Of
was the start of
everything.
our friendship.
That was the start of our friendship, and that was the start of Indah's political influencer career.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and I do want to make note 2 years. That was 2 years ago. And the Israel-Palestine conflict is still
Going on right now.
going on, and like to be honest, making
Yeah.
little to zero progress compared to where we were 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's but we're not here to talk about Israel-Palestine. Don't worry.
I mean, a lot of people would agree that Netanyahu's making progress.
Just the wrong type of progress. I
Yeah,
think.
the progress that we don't actually like.
Actually, I wouldn't call it progress.
We don't
I think I would call
we don't
it-
like that progress.
I think I would call it regress unless the progress, like the metric that you are gauging, is how many people have died. Then yes, he's
Yes.
making progress in how many people he's killing.
Yes, he is getting a medal for being the 21st century's most most notorious killer.
Most murderous global leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So Buzzer is here.
Hello,
because-
guys. I am Buzzer.
Don't cut me
Political-
off. Don't cut me off when I talk, you little bitch.
Oh, sorry. I'm a Gen Z. I have like I was raised in COVID, so I can't really understand social cues because it took out 3 years of my life, or formative social years where I could have gotten to know and act like an adult, but I can't. Oh, is this my cue to shut up?
Yes.
Okay.
So the reason why he's here.
So you kind of have to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, you know?
So the reason why he is here is because I'm starting this new segment on this show. Don't worry, like I'm not gonna be, changing logos or whatever the fuck or renaming the show, but it's literally just this new concept where I have people come over, and we talk about what is your Indonesian dream. And I got this idea from I think a combination of you and Rian when we were doing IBB. What does IBB stand for again?
Indonesia Bebas Bersuara.
Yay. And then I start a party. I call it PAM. I thought about it. It's going to be called PAM. Partai Progresif Anak Muda. PAM.
PPAM.
Yeah.
PAM.
PAM.
Pam. What about the other
It's
P?
like PAM.
Wow.
The progress hits you in the face like PAM.
What about the other P? There's two P's there.
Yeah, it just all merges together. So you just say PAM.
So one of the P's is silent?
Okay, maybe in Indonesian we call PAM.
Oh. It's not as punchy though in Indonesia.
I know, but if you do it in English and you merge the P's together, it's just PAM.
Okay.
Partai Progresif Anak Muda. Yes. Yes. Basically, my point is credit for the idea does go to the both of you. So, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Rian did make an episode of the Indonesian Dream,
Yes.
and I think both of us had the idea to like bring out the idea there during the forum.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about how Pancasila could be exported overseas.
No.
Well, the thing about what makes Pancasila, what makes a national ideology so great,
Yeah.
is that you can build a political narrative out of it so that the common man would understand, and at the same time provide it as a business model so that investors and rich ass people could also invest in policies that would push the dream.
Wait, okay, yeah, but hold on. But before I lose track of what I'm about to say. So, yeah, this is the new concept. You come on, and I basically ask you, what is your Indonesian dream, right? What are,
Yeah.
policy changes, cultural, social, economic changes? Like, what changes do you want to see in order for this country to achieve your version of, your desired version of Indonesia? And guests like you name 2 to 3. We talk about 2 to 3 and we dive deep into it. So what's yours? Not
My Indonesian
exporting
dream-
Pancasila abroad.
My Indonesian dream is to export Pancasila abroad.
How do you do that?
I feel like there's plenty of ways that we could do it. You see, Indonesia is designed as a country that only has 2 choices in my head. Indonesia doesn't merely exist. It's either that we become a great country or we die trying. You want to know why? We have a huge amount of population, we have 283 million people
Bonus
living in
demography.
Indonesia. We receive bonus demography since 2015,
Well, I have some thoughts
which
about
means that we have a lot of productive workforce available in Indonesia.
But no resources given to this bonus demography in order to hone and harness their skills.
It's debatable, but I would say, reflecting from what is going on in Indonesia right now, the government seems to have failed to take advantage of that bonus demography.
Yes.
With bad job quality,
Well,
and
lack of investment in resources.
lack of investment in resources, and also lack of investment
Infrastructure.
inside education.
Yeah.
Right. So that, and we have huge amounts of resources. We have uranium. We have uranium deposits. Yeah. We have uranium deposits over at Kalimantan. We have nickel deposits over at eastern Indonesia. We have gold. We have silver.
Yeah.
We have what else? We have so much things. There's a list of resources that we can. We have timber, we have ample amount of timber. We have palm oil that Europe imports from us, and this means that Indonesia is a country that could possibly self-sustain in a way. We have so much things. We can implement autarky designs, but of course,
Yeah.
we're living in market globalization, right?
Yeah.
But that was since a few months ago, since Trump made the tariffs.
Yeah.
Market globalization is no longer a trend. Market
Yeah.
regionalism is now a trend.
When Trump decided to start a whole fucking trade war.
Yep. Yeah, we are part of the global supply chain,
Yep.
and so we kind of need to fulfill the demands of the global market as well in a way. So that, and so because of that, Indonesia either has two choices. It either becomes a great country, like the British Empire, like France before it, like the United States in the 20th century, like China in the late 20th century and the early 21st century, which is now.
Yeah.
This, so yeah, let's not forget that we're also strategically placed between two continents and two oceans, Asia and Australia. We can chokehold Australia anytime we want. We can stop their exports going to China anytime we want. Whenever China and Australia send stuff to each other, they need to go through us first.
Yeah.
Airspace, naval corridor,
Yeah.
you name it. We have their supply chain. And we're situated between oceans, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean. We have control of the Malacca Strait as well as Malaysia. And a lot of people want access to Malacca Strait. China exports a lot of energy from Saudi Arabia all the way, and Africa all the way from the Malacca Strait to China. We control China, which is why we have leverage on China, which is why China is investing on renewables,
Yep.
so that they don't have to rely on exports anymore. But yeah, we are a big country, and a lot of people want that part of the cake. A lot of people want us to be controlled not by our own hands,
Right.
which is why we need to go on the offensive. We need to redefine Pancasila, and then we need to be able to spread Pancasila across the borders.
What do you mean by redefine Pancasila? Because I remember one time you and I got into an argument because I said that we need to. What's the word that I used? We need to.
Recontextualize, sorry. Not redefine, but recontextualize.
Yeah, but one time I said that we should. What's the exact word that I used? Fuck, I'm blanking.
What was the context?
We need to reform Pancasila. Reform the Pancasila.
I mean,
Switch it up, change it up,
if we
zhuzh it
change
up a bit,
we can't really.
give it a makeover,
We could change Pancasila, but that would create a lot of problems.
give it press-on nails and lashes.
Yeah, I feel like if we reform the Pancasila, it just create a lot of problems because
Yeah.
laws are actually derived from the Pancasila.
It's built-
Pancasila UUD 45, and then
I
Yeah.
think, yeah. I mean, in my head, of course, it's like,
oh shit.
there could be some changes made to the Pancasila that I feel like we could benefit from, but then that would disrupt literally like the foundations of everything that, quite literally everything, our laws, our
Yeah.
culture, our everything that has been built on top of it. And that's just too, unfortunately, too radical
Yes.
of a move.
A lot of
So,
people really want to replace the Pancasila, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't think, when it comes to the Pancasila. Well, first of all, I still don't understand why we want to export the Pancasila out there, because like Pancasila is ours. So like, what does other countries have to do with the Pancasila?
Every country has a great narration.
And
America
you just
is-
want to spread. Are you just saying that you just want Indonesia to be more prominent on the Indonesian stage and like people know about the story and the greatness of Indonesia?
Oh, not just that. We're every country in the world, every great country in the world, they have narasi.
Yeah.
America is the American dream.
Yes.
The American exceptionalism. We can debate
Yeah.
whether or not the American dream of the American exceptionalism or manifest destiny is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
If it's actually moved by people's consciousness, people's ingenuity to fulfill a national destiny, right?
Yeah.
I know I sound like a super right wing right now, but bear with me, right? Bear with me. So, a lot of people can debate whether or not it's sincere, but the truth is that ideology, that drive to improve the country, improve the society and the people inside it,
Right.
expand it,
Right.
has brought these nations into greatness. America has the manifest destiny, the
American
American dream,
dream.
American exceptionalism, and don't talk to me as if though I'm not aware of what costed America to get there. I
Yeah.
know of the Mexican-American War. I know of the Indian Wars, the genocide the American government has did towards the Native Americans. I know the cost, and the cost is horrific. But I'm not saying that we should do that genocide.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that we should go through that lengths. That's not the only way for us to become a great country. And then in China, since 2013, Xi Jinping, President, Premier, Paramount Leader of China, Chairman of the Central
Winnie the
Military
Pooh.
Commission. Winnie the Pooh, don't say that. You need to censor that shit out, or else this podcast will not fly by
In
your Chinese-
China?
In China, yeah.
Trust me, I'm not trying to attract Chinese viewers. I'm gonna call him Winnie the Pooh.
Okay,
To my
so
heart's content. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
so Xi Jinping has outlined that China's mission is to rejuvenate the Chinese nation.
Yeah.
And that rejuvenation of the Chinese nation entails recreating China's supremacy inside trade through the Belt Road Initiative,
Yep.
the One Belt One Road, now the Belt Road Initiative,
Yeah.
in which they create a supply line. They invested on infrastructure development in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, all these countries, and those narration has brought so much for the Chinese people, right? The Chinese people are empowered. I'm saying that if we don't have a narration that we need to spread, if we don't have a mission that we feel like we're God-given,
Yeah.
then it's really hard to empower the people.
Yeah.
Indonesia needs to feel like
There's a common struggle.
there's a
that
common
we are all
struggle,
in.
there's
Yeah.
a need to improve, and finally, the need to teach the world.
Well, and this
what
goes
they
back
wanna do.
again to why like this concept was even born, and it goes back to the conversation that you and Rian were having when we were doing that IBB episode. Is that also a nation that can dream, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're calling this the Indonesian dream. It's like aspirations for what Indonesia can become, but it can't just be all dreams. It has to also be. It also has to be accompanied by tangible government support, so that
Of course,
we
good
feel
governance.
that we're not just dreaming. Because I feel like right now we're a lot of, especially the younger generation. I mean, you and I are both Gen Z, so we know this.
We're Zillennials.
Yeah, we are Zillennials. Yeah, but formally,
you're more Gen Z than me, actually, despite the fact that you're older.
by 1 year. I'm 97. He's 98. Yeah, I guess that's like. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened.
I'm more millennial, apparently.
Maybe it's like our social environments.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably, or like media as well. But this is definitely something that we can attest to. The problem with the Indonesian younger generation at the moment is that we have lost our boldness to dream, because there's just no palpable evidence that if we were to dream this, that we are ever going to achieve it, that we are ever going to get there, because there's not adequate government support, infrastructure, both physical infrastructure but also social infrastructure, is just not there.
Gen Zs are a byproduct of a system so broken.
Yeah.
And however, we're in a much more grateful position than the millennials. The millennials are literally born inside a system that doesn't reward them anymore. They still think that they can work out the system, but it doesn't reward them anymore.
Yeah.
In Gen Zs were born inside a system and we understand how flawed it is, and we need to wait 10 years until there is a great wealth transfer.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
that's the only way that we can get rich. Apparently I think Warren Buffett said, or
Warren Buffett.
whomever American rich conglomerate, he said that 2030s are the best decade to be making wealth. We have to wait that long.
Yeah,
when we were
Yeah.
our parents at our age are
Yeah.
able to buy houses,
Yeah.
have 5 kids,
Yeah.
have 2 cars.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's insane.
Yeah, but
right?
it's also like, but you know what? The more that I read books on philosophy too, is just it just all comes down to luck. Like you're just lucky that you just happen to have been born there. You turned this age during this time period, and just like things like came together. Like when our parents were our age, like they could afford a house, they could afford to get married and raise kids, and and all that type of stuff. And they just so happen to be. You just so happen to have been born during a time where you're not going through a major global economic depression. So,
and
there's also that.
Yeah, and I feel like Gen Zs, we've been too focused. We're too hyper fixated on correcting the system, of correcting the flaws inside the system. If we're not hyper fixated on correcting the flaws inside the system, we just forego the system completely. We don't believe that it works.
And then you turn into a radical.
No, not yet actually. I feel like radicals, in a sense, they do have one redeeming trait, which is their ability to dream better. And a lot of Gen Zs, I feel like they're not that empowered. They believe that the system is flawed. Why should we play inside the system, etc., right? A lot of our peers, they work in gig economies. They work 3 jobs just to sustain rent, sustain food. Sometimes they're unfortunate enough to be caught inside a sandwich generation. And then their monies dry up because they need to pay their parents and also their siblings. And this is unfortunate for all Gen Zs, right? But during these moments, I feel like the best thing that we could do is dream.
That's the only thing that we can do. Yeah, because otherwise...
Yeah, and a lot of Gen Zs, a lot of their problem stems from the fact that they're not able to dream.
Yeah.
They have no faith in anything working else, anything else working out. And that's the thing. Gen Zs must dream better. They must dream for a better environment.
Yes, we have to dream. This is what I was talking about with Daerah Prayudi, right? It's like political apathy amongst Gen Zs is very high. Shouldn't it? It's the chicken or the egg situation, because on the one hand, if we do not care about politics, then the government cannot do their jobs. But then if the government does not give us adequate support in order to make our environment, make it conducive for us in order to be able to care about the political affairs of this country, like which one has to come first? You know what I mean? It's the chicken or the egg situation. So it's like, yes, we have to dream, but if there's, back again to what I said earlier, if there's no real tangible support from the government that signals to us that it is possible to one day have this dream come true, then it's like, yeah, what's the point?
I mean, we'll have to wait for a crisis, you know?
Yeah.
I think the reason why this ties into what I'm about to say next. I think crisis does solve a lot of our issue, because when we're met with crisis, we're met with an existential threat, a threat that could erase our existence, threaten our existence, harm us. right? And if we look at other countries in history, a lot of these countries that have experienced way more crisis, they tend to have a more technical governance.
Yeah.
They tend to be more responsible with what they're doing. They tend to be well. The anomaly is Russia for some reason. Russia, no matter what happens,
Yeah.
it stays like that. I don't know why. But
Russia's the anomaly. Yeah.
Russia is the anomaly.
Yeah.
But we are in a political climate which is similar to America between the 1829s
Yeah.
all the way to the 1920s.
Yeah.
It took America 100 years to get rid of the same climate we are in.
Yeah.
America managed to figure out the root of the issue, and we Indonesians, we have so much to learn from history, from practice, from all of these things, right? We have so much sources,
Yeah.
and it all leads to the same thing. It's that political parties are way too powerful. It's
Yes.
that patronage politics
Yes.
are way too powerful, right?
Right.
So it creates it gatekeeps people from political equality in a way.
Yeah, and it
Access
also,
is not that equal. Yeah.
well, yeah, and it also
and-
stifles meritocracy.
It stifles meritocracy because you need at least a sliver of meritocracy
Yeah.
so that your country could go and get running. And so it took America 100 years to get rid of patron politics.
Yeah.
To get rid of party politics.
Right.
And they started by insulating the civil service, the civil servants from politics. And if we look at Singapore, so Lee
who
Kuan Yew,
also came from a history of mass crisis.
who also came from a history of mass crisis. The first thing that Singapore had to do when
Yeah.
they got kicked out
Yep.
from Malaysia because they were predominantly Chinese and not Malaysian,
Yeah.
is they need to look for fresh water. They need to secure water supply.
What's that famous Lee Kuan Yew? This city was once a
this-
flap.
This city was once a mud flap. In 50 years, we have become a metropolis.
Yep.
Yeah.
They-
So-
yeah.
Singapore knew exactly, 50 years, Singapore knew exactly that after this entire thing, they're going to starve.
Yeah.
They have no water to drink from, right?
Yeah.
They need to find a water source.
Yeah.
So they need to create a public administration,
Yeah.
a political system
Yeah.
that is able to move fast through
Yeah.
that crisis and make sure, I don't know how much people in Singapore, 2 million people don't starve.
Yeah.
2 million people in Singapore don't fucking starve. And that crisis has given us the Singapore civilian service right now.
Yeah.
Lee Kuan Yew insulated civilian service from politics early on, so that when political parties dominate Singapore, they rule Singapore. They're actually representing more of the people, while the state is its own thing, led by bureaucrats, led by all these ministries in Singapore. And that's the thing that Indonesia needs to understand, is that sometimes crises do happen. And this leads to what I'm about to say, what I said to you earlier, right? About the Ministry of Finance. My thoughts are, the current Ministry of Finance is appointed because I think the government actually has like a financial crisis going on.
Or
And
they are suspecting an impeding financial crisis, and they're trying to mitigate it by
they're
actually
suspecting
appointing.
a looming financial crisis.
And they're trying to mitigate that by appointing somebody who's actually competent.
And I know Sri Mulyani was competent.
Oh, for
She's
sure.
very competent, but
Yeah.
I feel like Sri Mulyani wasn't the right person for the job.
I think at some point she just outgrew the position. I think
She
that's
outgrew the position.
way to put it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say it without the glove. I think Sri Mulyani was the right person for a time until we are in this condition.
Yeah.
Where it needs somebody who understands the market more than Sri Mulyani.
Well, we needed somebody who. The difference between Purbaya and Sri Mulyani, Purbaya is a lot more aggressive. Sri Mulyani
He's an
plays it.
economist.
He's an economist.
Yeah.
And also the one thing about Sri Mulyani is at some point she outgrew her position. This is where political patronage comes in here in Indonesia. The reason why And it's not even that Sri Mulyani wanted to keep her position. Like, I feel like at some point she was also like, fuck this, like, I want out. She couldn't leave her position because without her, it would be monumentally harder for Indonesia to secure foreign investments.
Yes.
Because so Sri Mulyani, if y'all didn't know, so she used to work for the, what is it, the IMF?
The
Or
World
this is
Bank.
the World Bank, sorry.
World Bank,
Oh, sorry,
World
yeah.
Bank and IMF.
The World Bank and the IMF. So because of... oh yeah, nggak apa-apa. Go ahead. Sorry guys, we're in a cafe. And so she used to work for the IMF, World Bank, because of the reputation that she has built and also the connections that she has over there.
Yes.
Sri Mulyani for the longest time was our guarantor.
Yes.
That,
That
like-
money flowing in.
Yes, like
Yeah.
your money is going to come in. It's going to be managed. It's going to be regulated. It's going to be supervised by Sri Mulyani, and people
Yeah.
trusted her. That's why when there was remember when there was news about Sri Mulyani, like either getting sacked or she like stepped down from her position, and then the stock market just.
Yep.
That's
Pretty much there's capital flight. That's why Purbaya had to step in and be
Yep.
all cocky and shit.
Yeah.
Because he needs to instill confidence that
Yep.
I'm the right man, I'm
Right.
the right person,
Yes.
I'm the man of the hour, the right person for the job.
And I think he really is.
Put your money back in me.
And I think he really is.
Yeah.
Like, I think right now he's doing a really good job. Purbaya right now is being very, what's the word? Fuck, what's the word? We talked about this.
What? Go-getter.
He's being very aggressive, and that's good for right now because we're trying to make up for short-term losses, right?
Yes.
We need to compensate for the short term. At
Yeah.
some point, the thing that I worry about Purbaya is when will he know how to pull back?
Yep.
So that it also doesn't come at the cost of our like local industries and our
Mm-hmm.
local sectors. I wanted to say something just now. You made a point about. You said a lot of things just now. Fuck. You talked about Singapore
Yes.
crisis.
Yeah.
This is, and when we were eating kacamata just now, like we were talking about this.
I had a bit of taste. I didn't eat.
Crisis and meritocracy. And it's no surprise when you look at countries that have a history of immense struggle. You look at China, you look at South Korea, especially Singapore, even more so. The one good thing about a crisis so destructive and so debilitating is that it forces you to put at the front people that actually know what they are doing with the merit and the competence to see everybody through that predicament. And so what that does is it builds a culture of meritocracy. What's the difference between meritocracy and technocracy?
It's technocracy is a government by technique.
Okay.
By technique, by technology, by science, by facts.
So
by
whoever
reason.
has just the most adequate resources in order to be able to see something through.
Yes,
right?
it's a government. It's a government staffed by people with
Capital.
technocrats.
Well, yeah, like sorry, not capital, sorry, resources.
Not resources. People with technical knowledge.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
okay.
A meritocracy is more of an attitude where if you have what it
Competence,
takes,
yeah.
if you have competence, then then the chance is presented to you, not the other person. But America, why do I keep on talking about America? Is because America is a country that is all about fair chances, right? But the system is actually pretty meritocratic.
Meritocratic, yeah.
Is very meritocratic.
Meritocratic, yeah.
Even though it doesn't gatekeep people from opportunity, like say Trump can put Pete Hegseth.
Yeah.
You know Pete Hegseth, the guy with the American tattoo, the guy that looks like Homelander, like he can put some no guy into the position of the Ministry of Defense, no problem. But the thing is, the Ministry of Defense is the Secretary of Defense, the Department of Defense, which is now the Department of War. The Department of War is such a complex, bureaucratic department that you could put somebody like your own friend into that position.
Yeah.
But if you put your own friend into that position, he's not gonna know what to do.
Right.
Right? You
Right.
do have the choice to do that. You also have the choice of putting somebody who is competent
Yeah.
to manage that place for you.
Right.
So, meritocracy needs to come from attitude, not from the system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's fostered through the culture.
It's fostered through the culture. So, you're not actually banned from putting your own friend inside the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
But but you do have the option to put your own friend inside the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
But if you put your friend inside the Department of Defense, that place falls down because he doesn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, and correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but well, actually no, I'm not sure about Singapore, but I know in South Korea it's this exact same way where it's the laws are democratic.
Yeah.
Anybody, you could be a janitor, you could run for office, you know. But are people going to vote you? Tough luck if you're in South Korea and you don't go to one of the sky schools, or
Yeah.
you're not some fucking, you know, related to some fucking like Samsung chaebol or
Chaebol,
whatever.
yeah.
Like I'm not saying like nepotism in South Korea like does not occur, but at the very least, perhaps like the saving grace is that it's not just that you are like Samsung chaebol. It's more so like they make the connection that because if you're like Samsung chaebol related, you go to one of the sky schools. And so they make the connection, therefore, that you've had a good education, you're very smart, you're very competent. Yes, it's faulty logic, but
Yes.
at least like the spirit of I'm picking you because this about you says to me that you are competent.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, and this is also, I remember I talked about this with Gilbas, is that America up until recently, I would say this ended in America by the time Trump went into office. A lot of things changed about America once Trump became president. But in America, let's say nepotism, which of course nepotism in America actually does happen, right? But let's say if I'm some large company owner in the United States, I have a daughter and she's stupid as shit. And I go ahead and I'm like, I'm just gonna put my daughter in charge after me, even though she's clearly incompetent and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, but it's just because she's my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
The system in America, it follows this idea of like the invisible hand, or like the free market. It's like the system in America will correct that. Like there is the argument to be made that in some places, like even if nepotism does occur, you do not need government intervention because the market is going to correct itself out. That's going to be weeded out on its own because what's going to happen? My daughter takes charge. She runs my company down to the ground. My company dies, right? And then other people look at that and see, this is what happens. Indah put her stupid daughter in charge, and then Trump went into office, and then that changed.
Yep.
I guess the question is also what happened that has changed, right?
Yeah.
How have we gone from... Obama was an example of this, right? Obama, first black president of America,
I'd argue he's a white guy.
an Oreo.
He's black, but he acts more white. He is black.
I think well, okay, that's a different debate. I think Obama had proximity to whiteness, but he's still like, look at the man, he's a black man. He walks through the world and he is judged by the world as a black man, right? During a time where the idea of America even having the first black president is just, didn't feel tangible at that time. But Obama was an example of how meritocracy, the spirit of meritocracy at the very least in America, was very alive and well.
What's your Indonesian dream?
My Indonesian dream?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, actually, this answers your question. What's my Indonesian dream? Like, how do we foster a culture that values meritocracy in Indonesia? Like, where do you think we would even start? Like, if that was a passion project of you and mine.
Are you asking me, or do you have an idea of your own?
Well, definitely education. So much of, to be honest, like Indonesia's problems all comes down to the way that we have been educated and this education system that most of us, all of us for generations grew up in. So I really am in favor of a total revamp of the Indonesian education system. Not just the curriculum of what we are being taught, but how classrooms are run. Like, hierarchies between teachers and students, the culture in which students interact with one another and students interacting with teachers, all of that, just total revamp. And if we want to bring it back again to the topic of, well, how do we foster a culture that values meritocracy? I think it has to start at school. I think at school you have to be brought up seeing an example of how, yes, if I put in the work, I put in the time in order to master my craft and to hone my skills, I will get rewarded for it. Regardless of, am I the son of the tukang beca or the son of like BCA's general manager? Kenapa BCA ya?
I do agree with you that meritocracy needs to be tackled in education first and foremost, because that's where children are taught to operate inside a society, right?
Yeah.
And their teachers regulate them on how to communicate with other human beings, how to communicate with the community, and how to communicate with society at large, and how to communicate with the state. And it's very important that these values are instilled inside students right now. But let's lay out first what Indonesia is teaching in its schools and how it will affect adults in the future, right?
Yeah. And you're
Our
better to answer
schools-
that than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been inside. So in case Indah's viewers don't know this, but I'll explain it to your viewers, right? I go to school in Australia. I used to go to school in Australia for 5 years, and in Indonesia, I used
Elementary
to switch.
and middle school, right?
They don't call it elementary; they call it primary school.
So yeah, primary school. And
Yeah,
then
and
secondary
primary school
you
is
move-
1 to 7.
And
Sorry,
it's-
primary school is from pre-primary 1, pre-primary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 8 years in primary school, and then you go to a high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secondary
so-
school.
Secondary school in Australia. So, to be honest, I don't know exactly what it's called, but you guys can check and correct us if we're wrong. I used to go to primary school in Australia, and in Indonesia, I used to go to an international school, and I used to go to a public school, and I used to go to a private school here in Indonesia, a private public school. Sekolah ini apa? For Indonesian viewers, sekolah swasta negeri. They would understand. Basically, it's like a private school, but modeled after a public school.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that means I've been a subject of different cultural norms and different educational curriculums, right?
Yeah.
And when I was small and how I reflect to those experiences now, I feel like Indonesia teaches you more on memorizing what it is, memorizing concepts,
Then to actually understand concepts.
than to actually understand concepts.
How does that relate to meritocracy though?
Yeah, let me explain like what Indonesia teaches in a school first.
Okay.
So, in Indonesia, in Indonesian education, we rely so much on rote memorization.
Yeah.
Yeah, without there's civics inside public schools in Indonesia, right? Where you learn how to become a good citizen.
Is civics kayak Pancasila?
Yes, pendidikan kewarganegaraan.
Yeah. Keluarga.
And inside civics, they teach you stuff like Pancasila, satu ketuhanan yang Maha Esa, dua kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab, dan lain-lain.
Yeah.
And those textbooks, they straight up give you the answer.
Okay.
And you're taught to memorize that answer.
Yeah.
And when the test rolls,
Yeah.
you're supposed to put down those answers that are accurate to the textbook inside your paper.
Yeah.
Individual thinking here does so less. So you have to rely on rote memorization. So it creates a culture where you need to adhere to the authority because they're the ones that knows exactly what the answer is. So it creates like a whole culture where you're not allowed to have an opinion unless you're an expert
Unless you are a person in a position of authority as well.
in a position of authority. Yes.
Yeah, because Indonesia also has a problem relating to what you said about prioritization of memorization over understanding. It's that you also gauge authority or expertise or prowess by how much this person superficially appears to understand things by just how good they memorize shit, right?
Yes, by how good they memorize shit.
Indonesia also struggles with, this is a very much social cultural thing, authority bias, which is something that I'm reading right now. I'm reading this book. It's called The Art of Thinking. Absolutely mandatory read for anybody above the age of 16. Just go get a copy of that book. One of the chapters actually talks about authority bias. Authority bias is literally because you are in a position of authority, you have a title that is higher than me. You're paid more than me. You're older than me. Even ageism, age hierarchy here is like
Yep.
a really huge thing. And literally just because of that, not only I have to bow down to you, because it is disrespectful if I were to speak up or whatever. But also, you definitely know more than me. You're
Yeah.
definitely better than me.
It creates a culture where if you're not an expert at the subject, then you have no opinion.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have any opinion.
Yeah.
And if you give your opinion on something, don't be wrong.
Yeah.
Indonesians are actually very afraid of being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
Yep.
because they tie in being wrong with incompetence. They tie in being wrong with being stupid.
And it's one thing. People think about that when you're wrong, like when you make error, which obviously is foolish because like we're human and we all make mistakes. But it's even what's most dangerous is they perceive you as incompetent when you don't know.
Yeah. When
Right?
you
There's
don't know,
being wrong, and then there's also just I don't know.
Yeah, this ties in also with the rote memorization thing.
Yeah.
Indonesians, they tend to have no deliberation on what is the concept of this, what is the concept of that, and how they feel towards that, or how they think towards that. So
Yeah.
so in a way, if you have the wrong answer, that means you didn't read the book.
Right.
If you don't read the book, that means you're lazy. Don't say anything.
Well, and you know what? And this is
Yeah.
also something else that in the book, The Art of Thinking, that it talks about groupthink.
Yes.
It's even that it's also the case sometimes where even if everybody else is wrong and you might be right, but because everybody else is saying the wrong thing, that becomes the right thing,
Yes.
and then you're wrong,
Yep.
even though you're actually right.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm segueing slowly towards how Australian education, how I feel like Australian education teaches you.
Yeah.
But to close in what Indonesia teaches, when the critical thinking movement began on social media,
Yeah.
a lot of people they felt liberated, they felt empowered. But
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of Indonesians, they still don't understand critical thinking. Why?
Yeah.
Because they just parrot whatever these social media influencers say.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Yep, yep,
because Indah G says this, I agree with her because she's critical. But Indah G or Buzzer is just another
Right.
another mind.
Yeah.
Why don't you think for yourself?
Yep.
Why don't you think instead of thinking like, instead of us doing the thinking for you, why don't you do the
Yes.
thinking?
Yes.
Why don't you engage us in dialogue?
Yes. Yes.
And that's what a lot of Indonesians like. They see people like Ferry Irwandi, they see Rian Fahardi, they see you, they see me, they see other political influencers.
Yeah.
They see people like Chania, and they're like, oh, these people, they're so critical, but everything they say must be true because they're critical. But
Yeah.
it
And-
creates it creates another vicious cycle of a country that isn't really
right.
going anywhere.
And I feel, and this is where it gets personal. Sometimes I also feel like people. I'm not going to speak on behalf of you, Ferry, Chania, other political influencers or just like online influencers in general that people perceive as us being like critical thinkers. And I'm just
Yeah.
going to speak for me. You like the way that me being critical looks. I think you don't actually appreciate the fact that I am a critical thinker I'm able to think for myself and to form my own opinions and to voice out those opinions publicly, regardless of the backlash that I receive or whether or not, of course, I have the chance of being wrong. Online, we're seeing this glamorization of intelligence.
Yes.
We're seeing this glamorization of intelligence. It's now cool to be intelligent. It's cool to be critical. You like the aesthetic of somebody who is critical, and yes, you support it when it's me, but you can't do it for yourself because you're scared of course, like the downside of being a critical, outspoken person is that you don't make a lot of friends and you make a lot of enemies, especially online, really fucking quickly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And people are not ready to sign up for
Yeah.
that. But do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like sometimes it feels like you online. What it seems like, it's using this word crassly, you worship people like Ferry, people like Chania,
People like you.
people like you, and it's almost also quite ironically the fact that you are even worshiping all of these people points to how you lack critical thinking skills.
You lack critical.
You know what I mean? Because
I know what you mean.
That is it for the free portion of this VIP episode, you guys. If you want to access this full episode with no ads, just for the price of a cup of coffee that will go towards supporting the show and the team of people that work so hard to make all of this happen, head on over to NOICE either on your mobile device app or web browser. Accepted payment methods include GoPay, Curus, credit cards, and virtual accounts. See you there.